Jesus, you're my love song. Lord, I'm so in love with you. I wish I could worship the way I really feel when oh my God, flowing from my heart, the issues of my heart is gratefulness. Hallelujah. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
Put your hand together and give God praises. Everybody praise Him. I do apologize for being late, but I was doing business, church business with the Yam, so finding out some things I wanted them to learn. So I'm glad we're here tonight. I'm going to receive the offering when I get through ministry and our tithes. Amen. I want to go directly into the Word of God. This may be tonight when I'm ministering something that can help both the women that are already married, the women that one day want to get married, and some of you that are already got married but are not with your spouses and you have issues. I want to help you. And this is about you as a woman building yourself. I want to talk about the beauty of holiness. And I think it's very important because very young, and being very young, as a young lady, there's a certain expectation that we have out of birth. It's something that you want to hear. Listen to me well. You all need to hear this. That's expected to say, when you look at a child, there's a certain validation that you want to give it. So, oh, it's such a beautiful baby. The hair is so long. Oh, such a beautiful baby. He has eyes like his mother. Oh, such a beautiful baby. Got this and this, and that child should get those validations. But every child isn't born physically beauty. They're not. Every child is not born perfect. Every child is not born with pretty eyes. Every child is not born with nice nose based upon what the world says beauty is. That's why you must be taught very young to define what beauty is to you and not for others to define that beauty. The first thing that you have to teach, listen to me well, any person is to make their own standard for what beautiful is. That's very important. Now there are physical standards. Go with me quickly. Get me the book of Genesis, 29th chapter. Where are you young men going? Oh, okay. All right. 29th chapter, 17th verse, Genesis 29 and 17. Right? This is Cowart. You have your glasses. You don't have them tonight. of this. All right, 29th chapter. All right, and thank you, Elijah. All right, you wasn't going anywhere. You had no business. I was going to put the heat on you, but you're in place. Lord bless you. You're multitasking. Your brother was next, and he come on in here, and I'm just looking. All right, thank you. 29th chapter. All right, Sister Cowart. 29th chapter, and I want you to get the 17th verse. Now, you got to get this, young ladies, you got to get this, because we have a problem that's going on with our young ladies today. There's a sexual problem, and it's not just a sexual problem with men, which is wrong if you're not married, but it's also a sexual problem with women. And I'm only talking with the women today, because there is a bad problem with young people who get involved with sex very young, who are, at 13, 14, 12, 11, and now girls sleeping with girls, and these are young kids. And it's simply because many of them don't feel attractive and they don't feel beautiful, and to hear it from somebody else, it somewhat gives them a spark of something they've never heard. And that opens the doors for certain things. Even some of you. If you got a young lady, and there were young men that I came up with, there are certain girls that they preyed on. They were easy praise, and this is the word that they're saying. Now, this is not the case for everyone, but these are easy praise. And these were women that we felt had low self-esteem. And if they felt that those women had low self-esteem, perhaps if they felt that they were maybe heavier than other women, or if they felt that they were skinnier than other women, or if they felt that they have some type of dysfunction in their body, these young men knew how to say the right words or the right things to them, and those women became women that they would ultimately, throughout our group, use for sex toys, because they needed that validation. They needed that wording. Now, a lot of the young ladies, not all, that were very pretty, what we would consider pretty, very highly attractive in those days, always say she hard to get. She hard to get. You can't hardly talk to her. She's hard. Why? Because she had already been instilled with so many people saying, "You're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful." She got all that conversation about beautiful, 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 beautiful. That whatever those young men were shooting to her didn't matter, because those are things that she had already heard. The problem, go to Genesis chapter 29, Genesis chapter 29, and I think our problem with young women settling for certain things is because they don't hear it at an early age, who they are, how beautiful they are. And we don't show them how to define their own beauty versus other people that defining their beauty externally. And then they're looking for it from someone else. My daughters, I didn't have to do much to my son to instill it in him, because it's generally not a problem with men. Women are very self-conscious of their physical. Men generally are not, because men generally get married most time. If they're ugly, if they sloppy, I'm just saying, men don't have the shortage a lot of time that women have with getting married. There's already a shortage of men anyway. And then even with the shortage, some of them trying to be women. But sometimes women have that problem. A man don't They don't do as much over defects as women do. Women are something about their defects. There's something about they're very particular. And when a man starts taking too much time on his person, you got to check him out. Won't spend much time on that. But Leah is a perfect example. I want to go to Genesis 29. I want to talk about that quickly. Genesis chapter 29, verse 17. Leah was denied.
But Rachel was beautiful.
Let's just deal with that. Leah was what? Denied, but Rachel was what? There's a comparison. First thing you have to see. There's comparison. And there are people who have had to deal with those comparisons in their own families. You have one child bright, one child dark. They may be treated differently. One child looks pretty, one child doesn't. They may be treated differently. And those are realities. So you're seeing right from the beginning that in the same household, two women are treated different by the family. One is beautiful, one is tender-eyed. And there's a lot of things that we get called in our families and things that are said about us in our families, even before we go out to society, that really affects us, and people don't know they affect us. And this is what opens the door to some of this premature sexuality. This is what opens the door to so many different partners and different things that they're having because they have issues with esteem, and they've been torn down even before they build up, and some of them never got it because they didn't get it in-house. So here's a problem. She is compared to a beautiful sister. Her father's compared, her mother's compared. Parents, you have to make sure that you know what true beauty is. And you don't compare your children in their external state, and never let them hear them being compared in an external state at all. Because some of us don't know what beautiful is. You got one child, she got some long, silky, pretty hair. And look at the other child. Oh, she all right too now. That's my baby too. You've already developed something in that child before that child can even open their mouth. I'm dealing particularly with women kids, when you got women children. Okay, listen what he says. Read.
And well favored.
And not only, now watch, listen what happens. Read it again.
Leah was tender-eyed.
Tender-eyed.
But Rachel was beautiful and well favored.
Now, she's beautiful, and because of her beauty, she's treated different. So Rachel, tender-eyed, Rachel's beautiful and well favored. Leah is tender-eyed. We have to be careful because sometimes we do treat people based upon how they look. We do. We do treat people based upon how they look. In service, you know, when people come, you know, serve you at the tables, when different things, when you go to different, why you think, you know, in these places that they go in, they serve food to men, the gentlemen bars and all of that, they don't get nobody 70 years old to come in there serving them with the short shorts on. Because they know that ain't going to work for the type of people that they're dealing with. Why do you think that? Why y'all watching this Norris, what is his name, Morris Chestnut or whatever? Why don't they get Fred Sanford to play that part? He could say that same role and everything, and why don't you let Bill Cosby play why wife decided to not get married? Get Bill Cosby, get, you know, all of these, get three of those older movie stars. George Jefferson, get him. Let them play why did I decide to get married and didn't get married or what. Now watch that and see how many of y'all women will be drawn to watch that kind of stuff there. I got to bring some of y'all in the spirit now. I got to get you back. But are you listening to me? So we treat people based upon how they look. We will treat our children, and we will allow our family to treat our children sometime based upon how they look. Oh, she's so fat, she need to lose weight. He's so big, his head's so big. Now those things do not seem like they have a toll or effect on them then, but when they are born and they hear that all the time, those become insecurities that they've heard, and they go outside of your house and somebody else confirms those insecurities when they pick at them at school. So you've called them something that's obvious. He got a big head. It's obvious. He's not so looking so good in your sight because you don't know how to define true beauty. They hear it from somebody in the school all their life. They hear it from somebody that be the joke of their life. Somebody picking at them, picking at them, picking at them, picking at them. And then one person who understands how to deal with people with insecurities say, hey, you're very beautiful. And they don't mean it. They just know that this is probably a person that have had insecurities all of their lives. So I figure it's an easy prey. Hey, how you doing? Well, you look so nice. Oh, I like the way that dress fitting you, but you've been told you fat and big and sloppy all your life. And all of a sudden you hear this. Oh my goodness. Me? You talking to her? No, I'm talking to you. I know you ain't calling me that I'm big, but I'm more to love. No, listen to me. Listen. They ain't never heard it. Now, this is a person that may not be genuine. There may be somebody that mean, but this is a person that's not genuine, but they know how to say it to get what they want, and they've never heard anything contrary in their house by their parents, so it makes them more vulnerable for somebody else to take advantage of them. So Rachel, she became that kind of woman. Look at the 29th chapter and go down to verse 31, 21 and 31.
And when the Lord saw...
And a lot of our young women, you have no confidence. You have low self-esteem. No confidence about yourself. And you deal with these insecurities inside. And you don't even like to tell people you have these insecurities because you feel small to even tell folk that you have the insecurities that you had all your life. You follow me? And it doesn't just come with people who may not have all of these what we would call external beauty. It could come to people who are really beautiful. There are people who are really, really beautiful, naturally beautiful externally by men's standard and by women's standard, who really don't feel that they are beautiful because they never had anybody to tell them that. From day one, my mother always made me feel that I was a handsome boy. I don't care how ugly I look. And I looked at some of them pictures, I said, how did my mama tell me that? I know my mama, I sure died. I didn't believe my mama lied. And I believe my mama was the same woman. But some of them pictures I went back and looked at, I know that she must have been looking through the spirit. And I had my sisters who probably was telling the truth at the time, and my mama tell them to shut up. They call me old big head. My sisters would tell me when I was little, and I hope they're listening. I'm gonna tell the saints everything. So when I was little, younger, I used to grow this little peak. Come right there. And you guys don't know this, you younger people won't know this, but y'all remember the Monsters. And they had Eddie the Monster. The little boy would grow that little thing there. And I would do something, and the first thing he said, go get your little ugly Eddie the Monster, little self in there and sit down somewhere. Until, well, I couldn't get no haircut, I went and got a razor, my brother a razor, and put some soap and try to edge it out, and had my edge way back there and try, but I couldn't stand that. And so my mother, she would instill, and every family go through that, and instill that. And some of the first things I can remember that helped me is this: never send your daughter to anyone else, to her father, to you, to anybody, to tell her she's beautiful first. Always say, go look in the mirror and see how beautiful you look. Let them tell themselves first. And then you go back and confirm what you just told them to tell themselves. Say, go look and see how beautiful you look. And I hear my mom say, go look in the mirror, look how handsome you look. And I go with them, that big old gap, and sometimes I probably felt ugly. But my mom said, look at you. Ooh, look at that smile. So remember, this is very small, but first thing, they tell themselves, and once they tell themselves, you confirm it, and then let everybody else confirm it. Because they hear it from themselves and somebody else before. Because now, if I've told myself I'm beautiful, my mother has told me I'm beautiful, my father has told me I'm beautiful, if you tell me something else, this is what protects me. If you tell me I'm not, the people I trust told me I was. I live with them. I trust them. You can't lie to me because I trust my mother, I trust my father, and I trust myself. I'm beautiful. So if you tell me from outside, it doesn't matter, because the people that I believe told me I was beautiful. And then if somebody comes and tell me afterwards that I am, I'm protected against that. Hey, I already know. And you knew that there was no need of even trying to pursue the young lady. Now, when you went out and you said, hey, you sure look good today, and she say, thank you, and look back. But when you say, oh, you sure look good today, she said, I've been told that once or twice today, thanks. It's like, oh, that's confidence. It's not like oh, yeah, I've been told that once or twice today, thank you. You're the third person that told me that today. So that means you're lost. You're like, oh. What else to say? So that's why you must confirm that in these younger ages, and even as they get older, they need it at 12, 13, 14. That's one thing I can pride Sister Cowart, Sister Camellia, Sister Lowe, not Mother Cowart, because Mother Cowart she was back in the day doing hair. And you all got to start this. They had all these little beautiful big bell dresses. They need that when they're young. All them little bows and pretty, all this kind of stuff, just little, they look like they was out in the Cypress garden somewhere when they come out there. If they go to Sister Camellia, every time they walk in the church, and it was so nice because the saints, and you have to do that when they're between that ages of 1 and 5. See, we don't do that no more. We don't send them with that kind of beauty. No, we don't send them out there. They come around public and church and all when they play clothes and all that. They need that because when they're little and they're walking in places like that, and the saints will say, "Ooh, you look so pretty." And then you remember you see the little girls, they get their dress and they turn around like that. They don't do nothing like that. They got on dirty school from clothes. Got there playing duck, duck, goose. Look what ends up happening, even to the fact that even to the fact now. Listen, young ladies don't like feminine no more, so they don't mind dressing in these casual, laid back, dresses are feminine. They're feminine, and some of our young ladies, they don't like them. They don't like beautiful hairstyles. When you don't like that kind of stuff, you don't like femininity. I don't like perfume. You don't like femininity. You don't like to smell like a lady. You're already dealing and battling with something right then. You're struggling with your femininity. You're supposed to be soft. You're supposed to smell good. You're supposed to look beautiful. So you're supposed to look. That's you. That's what a woman is. I'll tell you why that's so important. I'll come back to it later. But give me quickly the book of Genesis 29. And 31.
And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. Mm-hmm. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. And she conceived again and bare a son.
Her whole life, Rachel, Leah, never feels loved. Her whole life, she doesn't feel loved. And when she finally marries Leah, she marries somebody, he don't love her. When she marries Jacob, he don't love her. Now will my husband love me. So all of our babies is about love. All of our sex is about love. To feel loved. I want to feel like somebody loved me. All right? Keep reading.
And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. And she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, now will I praise the Lord.
Now let me say this. Do you know there's a lot of things that people can be doing to get love, to feel loved? So there's even the way sometimes people dress. See, if I don't get the attention that I need when I'm covered, and nobody says something to me when I'm properly covered, then I get some attention when I'm halfway covered. So when I get that attention when I'm halfway covered, I feel love. I feel somebody like me. Because if I come with a normal, nice dress that covers my body, nobody say, psst, what's up? Like, you ought to know something. If you covered and you don't get as much, psst, psst, what's up? And then you come showing stuff and you get, psst, what's up? Let me holler at you. You should know they're not hollering at you. They're hollering at your legs and the stuff you're showing. Because when you cover it, you don't get the attention. But that makes them feel loved when somebody holler at them. When somebody say something to them. Well, what's the difference in you wearing something decent that covers your body and something that doesn't. There's got to be a motive to why. There's got to be a reason. There's got to be something that says, I mean, if you're going to the same place and you're doing the same thing, you're going to school, you're going to learn. What's the difference in you going to school, covering everything up, and going to school and now you want to show something? There's got to be something. There's a reason. You don't change and want to wear that in a provocative manner unless you want something. I mean, if you just want to see yourself, you can go look in the mirror. You want to put on that. I'm not questioning that. But if you want to go to the school indecently exposed, it's not the exposure that's the problem. It's the thinking that you have. That's the problem. It's the mindset that you have. That's the problem. If it's not tight enough, if it's not low enough, if it's not short enough. So I got to think what's ultimately driving me to do that. And we're not ministering to our kids. We're ministering to what they got on and tell them you need to take this off. But we're not asking them, why are you driven to dress this way? What is going on in your mind? What is going in your head? Why do you feel like this is necessary? So we're not dealing with that. We're not asking those questions. Instead, you ain't going out my house wearing that. Don't you be going out there looking like that. But why? What's driving me to do that? You know what the Bible say about this? The scripture say this and that. But what's driving me to do it? Because, and even when it comes down to sex, you find your young ladies that are involved in sex and you know all this, all this stuff that and they got some stuff going on, man. I mean, these young ladies got some stuff going on that would make what we would in school back then. They would probably have us a reserved place in heaven with some of the stuff these kids doing now. What would make you want to get on it's not sex, because you're getting no sex from putting your body on Facebook. There is no physical gratification as people are engaged in sexual activity when you put your body on there. It's likes. It's likes. Think about it. If I put my picture on Facebook and showing all my body, I'm not having a sexual engagement that's getting me some type of pleasure. It's validation. It's likes. It's insecurities. And we're not dealing with the insecurities. We're dealing with why they put it. We're dealing with they put it on there. We ask the question, but we don't ask the answer. We don't wait till the answer. Why you put that mess out? Now look, why you put that mess out on Facebook? You know better than that. I'm saved. But then they answer, then why? Are you following me? Likes. I want to feel pretty. Likes. I want to male attention. Likes. Likes. In fact, y'all with me? Lift up your hands and say hallelujah. So, why was Rachel having babies? Because she wanted to be loved. And she felt like one of those children would make him love her. Go with me quickly to 2 Samuel 11 and 2. 2 Samuel 11 and 2.
And it came to pass in an evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. Mm-hmm. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon.
Let's look at that word. You got beautiful, you got another word. Very beautiful. So we do know there are different classes of beauty. There are different definitions of beauty by other people's standards. Listen to me, women of God, especially you that are not married. Never let anybody else define what beautiful is for you. You should define that very young, what beautiful is for you. You don't wait for anybody to. I like Bishop Brookshaw. I like what he said. Bishop Brookshaw said, I know I look good. And you can't tell me I don't look good. Now, some of y'all, you think, oh, that's boasting, that's that. And maybe somebody say you don't look good. Say, well, that's you. I know what I look good. I know I look good. You better have that confidence to define what beauty is to you and not what beauty is to anybody else. I'm not prideful. I don't try to be prideful. But every now and then I do look at the mirror and say, all right, boy. So Cowart see me doing too much and say, all right, preacher, I'm alone down now. Every now and then when I just look at it sometimes. Every now and then I get a haircut, I look at myself, say, oh boy, you still look all right, young man. You know? Amen. Somebody say hallelujah. So I'm saying this because I want you to understand that don't let anybody else define what beautiful is to you, because everybody, look, the Bible say Bathsheba was very beautiful. Leah was tender-eyed. Rachel was beautiful. Everybody will have their own thoughts about what they feel about you. And you ought to be able to welcome everybody's opinion about you. Listen to me, young people. And be able to hear everybody's opinion about you and don't buy that opinion. You see, so it's nothing wrong for somebody to walk up to me and say, Cowart, you ugly. They're fine for them to say that. They're fine. And they're not wrong. They're not in error. If somebody walk up to you and say, you're the ugliest person I ever seen in my life, that's okay. That's not a problem. I'm all right with it. So, the key is this. They're all right with their opinion. But I don't have to buy your opinion. Okay? I can at least say this. And this is what you have to tell yourself. If somebody say you fat, somebody say you ugly, that's perfectly fine. I can accept your view because all of us have different eyes. All of us have different, and you got to teach your children this. All of us have different eyes. All of us have different feelings. All of us look at things and look at the world differently. But you are correct in your eyes. But it said, well, I look good to myself. Now this may not pay a lot of importance to many of you all, but you got women right now don't feel beautiful because they're not married. Don't feel beautiful because a husband walked out and left them. Don't feel beautiful because they're 50 or 60 and they think something's wrong with them because they're not married. Maybe there's something wrong with the men you've been around. It doesn't have to be that. I don't have to always fault myself because what people don't feel. And see, this is when you're strong. It's strong. You're strong when you're able to hear other people's opinion about you and not agree with their opinion just because of who they are. Don't give anybody more validation about your beauty than you give yourself. Jesus was willing to hear, who do men say I am? And he was willing to hear, who do you say I am? And he was willing to let them know who he thought he was. I'm able to hear the whole school tell me I'm ugly, but I know I'm still beautiful. And that's what you have to teach yourself. And that's what a lot of us adults don't have and didn't have. That's why we fell in some of the places that we went into. And guess what? When that man found out your insecurity, and once he found out that insecurity, the minute he got mad, he pulled that security back. Because he told you you was beautiful. He told you you were fine. And the minute he becomes angry, he goes to that insecure place, your ugly self with that funny eye, your ugly self, your big fat self, and all the things they validate, they take the validation back, and then you go back into a depression again because that was the person that instilled you for who you are. And people know those insecure spots in your life. Can you lift your hands and say hallelujah? Listen at this. Watch quickly. Go to the book of Songs, chapter 49 and 4. This is what you receiving salvation was about. Psalms 149 and 4, God giving you salvation was not only to be about you speaking in tongues and shouting and running around the church. Psalms 149 and 4.
For the Lord taketh pleasure in his
The
people.
Lord taketh pleasure in his people.
He will beautify,
the meek
with salvation.
When you got salvation, that was supposed to be the tool that said to yourself, I'm beautiful. And if your salvation does not go into the realm that it confirms your beauty, you have like to get everything that God has for you. Salvation is supposed to make you feel different about yourself. Salvation is supposed to make you feel beautiful within your own eyes. It's supposed to make you look at yourself differently because now you are in the image of God. Now you've been born again. Now God has created something new, and he does not deal with just the flesh of you. And if your salvation does not build up your confidence to look at yourself as a new creature, look at yourself in a new light, look at yourself beautiful, then you haven't completely got what you need to get, or you have not completely understood what took place in you when God saved you. Amen. Look quickly with me. And our worship, look at the book of Proverbs, Songs, the 96th division, in the 6th verse.
Honor and majesty are before him. Strength and beauty are in his sanctuary. Mm-hmm. Give unto the Lord, O ye kindreds of the people. Give unto the Lord glory and strength. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. Bring an offering and come into his courts. O worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness.
Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. Now let me explain to you what God is talking about that. This is why when we deal with holiness, and really holiness, I'm teaching you sisters and young ladies to not to be so excessiveness in this jewelry and all of these accessories that you look. We don't believe in the Christmas tree, but some of y'all look like a Christmas tree. And the reason the Lord is doing this is because he wants that person that comes before him to understand what God has done for them and who they are. So when God sees somebody come to him that understands that you have ornaments that have been put on you that are not physical. You have ornaments that have been put on you that are not brought from a store. Get 1 Peter chapter 3 and 1. Look at it. 1 Peter 3rd chapter and 1st verse. Look what it says. 1 Peter 3 and 1.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. Whose adorning? Let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and a wearing of gold, or a putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit.
When I see a woman that understands her true value and understands her true beauty by salvation, she doesn't feel that she needs all of this other stuff to make her look beautiful. She's confident in her self-beauty. I'm going to show you. In the book of Genesis, when Jacob and his family went to worship God, he told the women, I don't want you to go with any of this accessories on. I want you to go like you are. I want you to present yourself to God with a confidence that says, hey, I'm confident in my beauty. I'm confident in who I am. I'm confident in how I look. Many of y'all still deal with self-esteem problems. You still deal with self-esteem problems. I mean, you're doing all kind of things and accessories because you don't feel completely beautiful, or you feel like you have to enhance your beauty. You got an eyelash out here. And then it starts moving. It goes from the eyelash, I got to have a nose job. I got to have a butt job. I mean, and listen, you might be having to doing that every 6 months. Just times, I mean, hey, this stuff breaking down. Because I got to enhance it. I got to keep it up. But when you feel your self-value, don't start your girls into that. Don't start them into that. They're too young for that. Get them enough to build up for themselves. Don't get them in all this extra stuff. They're 5 and 6 years old and got more gold on than because so that's what they think woman is. You keep them from that till they find themselves, see their own beauty, get that confidence in themselves. Now, one thing, and I probably should have gotten them, I didn't get them, and my mama, she couldn't. I don't think she could afford braces, and if she could, I probably would have been scared of them. But I can smile with my mouth not being perfect because I love me, every bit of it. My extra teeth and everything, I love it. I can eat pork chop on the side, you can't. Oh, you let me bite you. You come on. Right? When we were little, I ain't leave no little marks. You know I remember one time I told my mama, my cousin, he bit himself. And she said, you bit that boy? I said, no, he bit himself. He tried to give me a whipping. She said, let me see. She saw them big old two teeth. She said, no, ain't nobody got no two teeth like that. You did that. But, hey, I like it. It's me. I'm just saying. Now, make them dainty girls. But some of y'all spending so much money for stuff and the job's still not done. Still not done. And guess what? The jewelry you wear today, you're not going to wear it next week. You're not going to wear it next year. You're going to have all this jewelry box full of stuff that you got. You have all these earrings packed up and you still ain't going to feel good about yourself. So every time you got to go dress up, you got to go and buy it. You got to fix it up. And I'm not preaching these things as sin. But I'm telling you what the Bible is trying to get you to focus on. I'm trying to get you to feel the real woman. Feel the real woman. Feel the real you. See the real beauty. And stop looking for accessories to make you feel beautiful or look beautiful. You say, well, I just like to wear them. Nobody does do it because they just like to. Even subconsciously, Now listen to me. Listen to me. I want you to get me well. And then when you're married, even when you get married, you just got to start focusing. I want you all to take as much time shopping for clothes and much time as you take shopping for shoes, shopping for grocery. Take as much time. Now you all will go, because now that you're a wife, your focus change. Now that you're a mother and your focus change. If you spent 8 hours into shopping on Black Friday or whatever for things for yourself or clothing for yourself, how much time did you spend? You still got flowers in a bag in a refrigerator. You got any of them little containers like we used to have, like the cookie jars and all that kind of stuff to put stuff in? Still got pots kept in the stove, kept in the oven with the tops on. Did you shop for stuff like that? You got a hamper, or you still got clothes in bags? See, your shift change, because that becomes your ornaments. You got the latest shoes, you got the latest hat, do you have the latest vacuum cleaner? Do you got all the latest stuff that you need to get a house clean? You got all this money and you're still around here, you're still around here with that broom. Amen. So as a wife, my focus changed. When you get confidence in something, let me tell you something. Let's get this. Because what happens is, give me quickly Proverbs 31 and 30, and then I'm going to the book of Genesis, 31, 30. A virtuous woman values herself far above that kind of stuff. Right? Watch this. Proverbs 31 and 30. Look what it says.
Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain.
Favor is deceitful, and beauty is what?
Vain.
Okay? I want y'all to get this. Hear me very good. Favor is deceitful. Beauty is vain. So beauty is fake. It's fake. It is. Because all your beauty will fade away. But look what it says.
But a woman that
But
feareth
a
the Lord,
woman that fears the Lord,
she shall be praised.
she shall be praised. Vain. The beauty is vain. But the woman that fear God, that's the woman that's going to get the praise. So God says, stop focusing so much on your beauty and start focusing on fearing God. That's the kind of woman that get praises. Not the one that's focusing. So now watch this. Then look at this. Proverbs 31 and 10. So what you gonna get me, honey? What you gonna get me? Give me a ring. Give me a ruby. Give me a diamond. Look what it says about a woman who is virtuous. Look what it says.
Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
Her price is above the diamonds, the accessories, all of the gold. Her price, her value is far above that. She feels herself valued above that. Somebody said, hey, I got you. I'm worth more than that. My value is worth more than that. So, guy coming by you some rubies, you say, oh, that's nice. But, he's buy a diamond because rubies in the Bible was more expensive than diamonds. So the guy says, here go a diamond. I brought you a diamond. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm so much more expensive than diamonds and rubies. That may distract from me. So I don't want to necessarily put that with this because I don't want to take it where I don't want to take a Louis Vuitton and wear it with some Payless shoes. when I feel that my price is far above rubies, my price is far above diamonds, there's some things are distractions. They take from me rather than add value to me. Would you buy a Mercedes and put a Chrysler sign in front of it? Would you go and buy a brand new BMW, take the BMW sign off and put a Ford sign on it? Because you feel like the label devalues the product. There's certain things that you put on yourself. If you feel like you're high quality, it lowers who you are. Here's this big quality woman of God, who has all of these things because she don't even realize that she's beautiful herself. She's valued herself. Look at this. Look at the book of Genesis 35. Genesis 35. All right? Get it? And I got it. So don't teach your girls to be vain. And y'all start letting these girls, I got 2 more scriptures, get their hair done, get them beautiful. Because that's glory. Hair's glory. Let them do something with their hair. That's important. Get these 2. 35, Genesis 35 and 1. Look what it says.
And God said unto Jacob, Arise, go up to Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God that appeared unto thee when thou fleddest from the face of Esau thy brother. Mm-hmm. Then Jacob said unto his household, and to all that were with him, Put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments. Mm-hmm. And let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto God.
Watch this.
Who answered me in the day of my distress.
What verse you on? Mm-hmm.
And was with me in the way which I went. And they gave unto Jacob all the strange gods.
They gave unto Jacob all the strange gods
which were in their hands.
Which were in their hands.
And all their earrings, which were in their ears. And Jacob hid them under the oak, which was by Shechem. And they journeyed, and the terror of God.
No, we're not saying this stuff is sin. People say that's not what the Bible is saying. But the fact is, when Jacob says, let's go to the house of God, he said, listen, y'all going with me? I want you to feel valued. I don't want you going around here with all this stuff walking around like you don't value yourself. And Jacob told them, because he's building the confidence in this group that's with him, take it, hide it, y'all go with me. We're going to the house of God, and we're going plain Jane. I want you to go down. I want you to feel confident with yourself. If you can't step out of that house without painting your face up, if you can't step out of that house without taking you about 20 or 30 minutes to put 15 pair of earrings on and a whole necklace on, and you can't step out of the house without that, then you got some issues. The Bible talks about, and there's an excessiveness. There's jewelry, and then there's an excessiveness of jewelry. The Lord uses the word deck. He uses the word deck. I want you to see this. Go with me to the book of Jeremiah chapter 4 and 30. Jeremiah 4 and 30. 4 and 30. Our young ladies, we got 2 group of young ladies in the church. Those that are over accessories in some things, and those that have no care for their appearance at all. It's not ladylike for a young lady not to want to have her hair done. It's not ladylike. It's just not ladylike. It's not ladylike for a young lady not to want to have certain feminine things about her. Something is working on her then when she don't want those feminine things. Y'all may not see it, but there's a spirit working then. It's not ladylike for not to have some daintiness about her. It's the feminine spirit, just like it's the male spirit. It's a feminine spirit, just like it's the male spirit. Y'all ain't saying much. You got to be able to identify these. And some of these girls are going to be, they're going to look and want to have that appearance of a man because they feel like they look more beautiful as a man than they do as a woman. They don't like the woman look. And guess what? You don't get no attention sometime as a woman, looking like a woman, but you go down here and a dyke or sister, you look at them twice. Oh, what is that? They get attention. I was at the fair with Tay yesterday. I was walking around, and every one of them I seen, I said, oh, my Lord. It's just something about it. And so they know they get that attention. And then they don't mind getting that attention. And when you're looking at them, they try to switch extra hard. You know, you have to use more margarine than butter because it ain't the real thing. And you have to switch harder as a man when you're trying to be a woman because it ain't the real thing. They got to go all over. They got to go overboard. And the world is getting confusing. Now, I was at the bank the other day and there was a transformer. And now I've seen people who are, you know, sissies, but I had never, one time I seen a transformer, and that was at the gym, and it just transformed throughout time, and I watched it. I watched it come in as a woman and evolved into whatever, a man. Well, I saw that throughout time, to the time I was going to the gym. I guess they're on the hormone pills or whatever, and I saw that, and I couldn't believe what I saw. But I was at the bank, and I know it had to be the transformer, and I'm sitting down, and I'm watching all the feminine voice, all the feminine talk, everything that you want to see. And you couldn't really tell it. You know, I'm saying to myself, I said, Lord, something wrong here. But I'm saying this because now you got to figure, but I know something wasn't right. I said, no, something ain't there. I said, something is wrong. I'm saying to myself, I said, now, this look like a woman. But I said, something ain't right. This is an odd looking woman. I guess that pill hadn't worked on them hands yet. She went to grab my check. I said, hey, Tony Dorsett. But I'm saying, what we're seeing is how young ladies who are having confusing thoughts about who they are and their insecurities about their femininity is what's bothering them. And so you have to go back and confirm in their life. This is one of the reasons God made a distinction. I'm going to say this, and I want to deal with, I want you to get me 1 Corinthians. I'm sorry, before you get that, I want you to get that. What did it say? Jeremiah 4:30? Look at Jeremiah 4:30.
And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson,
Though thou cover thyself with crimson,
though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold,
though you deck yourself, but though you deck, overdoing, over excessiveness, you deck yourself.
though thou rentest thy face with painting,
Though you renish your face with painting,
in vain shalt thou make thyself fair.
you're not making yourself beautiful. You're still who you are. When you take that lipstick and take it off, you take that paint and take it off, you're still who you are. So he says, it does not change your beauty. It does not make you any better. It does not make you fair. And if it makes you feel better, or it makes you feel a different way when you put it on, if it makes you feel more valued. And it's not just talking about those things, even with clothing. I was sharing with somebody the other day, which I definitely believe, and we got to get. Because when I'm teaching stuff like this, I don't want you all to get the misunderstanding, because some of you all have defined holiness for homeliness. When you sisters walk in here and you're dressed up, looking like women of God, and you're beautiful, and you're seeing that you put some effort in so that you won't look thrown away, that says something. That's a representation of God. That's a representation of a woman that understands her femininity. I told Sister Cowart a while back, and she didn't do it because she wasn't feminine, but I said, I don't want you wearing any more jean skirts to church. You know, I don't want you. I want you to, especially when we got in the temple here. I want you to, I said on Wednesdays, I want you to wear them. I mean, you know, and listen, ladies, don't y'all get offended, but I want you to help me. I want to help you. You know. What's that Jerry Curl juice that they sell in that stick your hair to yourself? What's that stuff called? Slap it back, stick me. What that stuff? That jelly, what y'all call it? Gorilla and all that. And this is all. This is it. This is it. Listen. The last year, this is how your husband seen you. The last year. And one little raggedy little thing sticking out at the back. That's all that man have seen. Y'all got to come better than that. Mothers, learn some hairdos. Oh, Lord. Sunday mornings would be a mess in the house. Be a mess when Tay and because first of all, they be crying. They be hollering. Because somebody got them. Sister Cowart got them on there. She got some grease over here. She got bowls over there. And the kids are rounded up, hair hurting. I mean, this is what you seen on Sunday morning early. And then I said, lights don't hit her like that. She hit the cone. Sit still. Y'all know me. You used to hear that on Sunday mornings. Sit still. Going out there, tight lip, and boy, I hear she tender head. The other one, and the head going all right there. Whoa. Y'all don't take no time to do that no more. Absolutely not. These girls need femininity. They need it. It needs to be validated young. You need to put it in them young. You can't wait till they get old to put it in them, because when they've been too masculine too long. Listen, and it defines the hair. The hair has power and glory in it. It's given to God to protect you from certain angelic spirits. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, look at it. 1 Corinthians chapter 11.
Be ye followers of me, even
11,
as I...
11 and 15.
But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her.
Let's get two things straight. There's a difference between straight hair and long hair. All right? We have long hair, straight hair, and the broad hair. Two different things. Okay, stand up. And I asked her. I asked her, said, that your hair? Stand up. That hair is long. I want to make sure that you understand, because some people say, oh, we don't have long hair by nature. That's long. So we don't want to confuse straight and long. So when the Bible said long hair, I say that because a lot of time we feel like we don't have long hair, and our kids, but they don't have long hair. So it doesn't have to be straightened to be long. And what I'm saying is, as mothers, you need to let your daughters know the importance of the hair and to take care of it. It's a part. You know, women today, even older women, they don't take care of their hair. But that's a part of your femininity. That is a part of your feminine nature that God has given you. For if a woman have long hair, but if
a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her.
it is a glory to her. It is a glory to her. It is a glory to her. So let's think about this. Let's think about this. If a woman have long hair, it's a glory to her. If your daughters do not have some type of special care for her hair, because it says it's supposed to be a glory to her, then something is wrong. Because women should have some type of glory in their hair. They should have some type of care or some type of way, a different way that they treat it. So it's womanhood for these young ladies. Start by mothers teaching young ladies to glory their hair, to value their hair. That's a thing that stopped. Mothers used to say, "How your hair look, baby? Let me get your hair." My sisters at night, man, they had brown paper bags, twisting them up, getting their hair. I remember all of the braids, all of the different things that they were doing with it. We've got to teach them that. Teach them the value at. That's another thing. Glory. Glory. Listen what it says. All right?
Her hair is given her for a covering.
Her hair is given her for a what? Covering. It's a protection. Verse number 10, read.
For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angel.
Not only is that, there's a spiritual thing in that. There's a spiritual thing in that. There's an angelic thing in that. It says she should have power on her head because of the angelic host, because of the angels. So one is a glory to her. I commend some of these mothers. I had a mother that just said to me, she said, "I'm going to go, there's going to be some difference, and I'm going to make some difference." I commend you for that. And there's some trends that we got to break out, especially these girls that are having these problems with feminine and masculine behavior. You don't straighten up, girl. I put pink bows all over your hair. You coming in and think you're Cinderella. Got to start working in this femininity. Start working in the character. Are y'all with me, saints of God? Lift your hands and tell God thank you. Lift them up and say thank you, Jesus. So I want to say this in my closing, and I want last scriptures, 1 Timothy 2:9. Say this in my closing. Start seeing your own beauty. Start valuing yourself. I want every woman in here tonight to open your mouth and say, "I am beautiful." Say it again. Say, "I am beautiful." Say, "I'm beautiful to me." Amen. And I want you to tell your daughters every morning, even these young ladies that are up. You think when they're 12 and they're 13 and 14, 15, even 16, that they don't need to hear it. But they need to hear it. They need to hear it coming from your mouth, because some of them didn't get it when they were younger. And if you notice those traits in them that's fighting them, you go back and start applying some of the things that I said and start putting it in them. And I want some of you ladies to start taking more care of yourself, and you start carrying yourself in more of a feminine manner. Start looking at yourself beautiful. Start carrying yourself more beautiful. And you know, I work, I got this, I got this. It'll save your household too. It'll save your household too. You can't marry this man. You got all these beauty, and you look all beautiful now. All the men come home and all they see you looking like that all the time. Y'all got to do something. No, change up, look up, put some beautification in there. Amen. Look at yourself. See, it's a different when you look at yourself differently. So work on that hair, on these young ladies, especially these young girls. Work on it. They need it. Because some of them are battling with some stuff. They're struggling with some stuff with fitting. When a young lady no longer wants to look like a young lady, when a young lady no longer wants to feel like a young lady, when a young lady no longer wants to identify as a young lady, when a young lady is struggling, she's struggling to put on a dress. A man, because you make her put on one. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. She's battling with something. She's struggling because you put on one. Don't let them go around that all the time and they're looking. And y'all can tell when these girls looking boyish. If I can tell, you can tell it. You stay with them. You raise them. If I can tell it, you can tell it. Now, I wouldn't be a pastor if I didn't talk like that. If I can tell it, you can tell it. I remember I could see when one of my babies was born, the mother say, "Oh, we're going to have to doctor her up a little bit." When Isha was born, Isha came out with the attitude, because Sister Cowart, she wasn't ready for that one. And when she was born, mother said, "Yeah, we're going to have to doctor her up. We're going to have to fix up. We're going to have to come on. Let me. Because Isha would be just as Clayton Allen Cowart looking. She was straight her daddy. And all of my traits, all of my personality, all of my character, she picked it up, and they had to tone that down. They had to doctor that up. I mean, she'd be up there, her DJ, she just, come on, you do it if you want to. You try it if you want to. All of that, all that masculine, I mean, even her walk. Gotta put that femininity, put it in her. You have to do that. We used to call it tomboy. That's what parents should see it. And when parents used to identify it before, they did something about it. Parents identify it now, they celebrate it, they glory it. And when you see some of these things kicking in, listen, I don't care if your child make it to the NBC, ABC, ABCD, EF, HIJ, KL, MNO, PQR, none of that. If you see this stuff, these sports start to bringing them male characters, you better pull them out that mess. A lot of them get this spirit from these basketballs and all this stuff. When you see that, when you see your little girl doing like this, I know y'all see it. Some of these girls walk just like little boys. Stop it. See where it's coming from. Be a parent. You got to start sweetening them up now. So you got to get it in enough time. Don't start trying to sweeten them up at 17. You start, you have to start just like when you get lemon, and you have to keep putting sugar and tasting it. Putting sugar and tasting it. Put it on that dress. Walk down there. Come on back. That one. Go get that long one with that little pink and pretty. That's right. Come on. Get a little pretty. Let me put a little curly over there. Now come on, walk back. Let me see. Oh, that look more like a lady there. Come on, let's try it again. Put you some shoes on. Get out them tennis shoes today. Get out them tennis shoes and that big old jacket. All right, today, you come with me. Come on, you come into church. Everybody see, they ain't seen them look like a girl in so long. They say, oh, you look so pretty. No, you look so what you're supposed to be looking like. Amen. Now, y'all know I don't care if you're man, I love you anyway. I just want to make sure that when I look at the church, I don't be looking at a whole bunch of transformers. Transformers and insecure young ladies. All right? I want y'all to be the cream of the crop. I mean, I want you to excel and exceed. I don't want you to deal with some of the same things that your parents deal with, and I want the parents to get over some of the things that you have dealt with. Let's give God a praise and tell him thank you. All right, everybody, let's take out our offering.